though we've had a withdrawal from lane 6. Elizabeth Marks won't be swimming for the United States, so 6 athletes will contest heat 1, and we're still expecting 8 athletes in heat 2. DUSKOVA, BRABER, ELLIOTT, MILLWARD, WEGGEMANN and Bird to swim in heat 1. MILLWARD, we know, swimming in lane 4 is strong in the back and free. She was the silver medalist in London. She's won multiple medals in Rio. And WEGGEMANN, who's swimming next to her in 5, was 6th in this event in London. She's been making finals here in Rio, but no medal yet. We know she's medalled in the freestyle events in the past, so we expect her to bring it home strongly. Maddison, ELLIOTT, just 17. She's a multiple medalist in Rio. She was 7th in this event in London. There's MILLWARD on your screen there. She's 34 and posted the qualifying time of 2:47.40. And the favourite, Jessica Long, will swim in heat 2 for the qualifications for the final of this event. There's a much quicker qualification time than any of the athletes in heat 1, it must be said. So they'll have that in mind, knowing that the second heat may well be a lot quicker than heat number 1, and should these athletes want to assure a place in the final, they won't want to take it too easy in heat 1. So up and stroking ELLIOTT, MILLWARD, WEGGEMANN across the pool almost in unison, and Bird in lane 7 also having a reasonable butterfly leg. But there won't be a lot in it as they touch in at the first 50 between WEGGEMANN, MILLWARD and ELLIOTT. And ELLIOTT's just touched ahead, but only by 12/100ths of a second, 34.85 in the first split.
And she's probably swum her weakest stroke in the opening. She can swim a very strong breaststroke, can Maddison ELLIOTT. You've got to ask as well, again, at this stage, she's already 5 medals in at the Paralympic Games. 3 of those have been gold medals, which require tremendous effort, but she's a strong freestyler. She can swim backstroke really well, but at the moment is just not using much in terms of the backstroke. So I think just trying to get into the final is the aim at the moment, just conserve a little energy. She's had 5 really tough races as Maddison ELLIOTT, including 2 very tough swims for a gold and a silver on day 9 of competition, so not much recovery time for the young Australian. So MILLWARD is leading here, and indeed just off her shoulder, Mallory WEGGEMANN of the United States, who's opted out of a few of her stronger events to perhaps focus on trying to claim a medal in this 200 IM for SM8. She's making up some real ground on MILLWARD here. MILLWARD currently breathing on every stroke, but far shallower, and every 3rd stroke breathing from WEGGEMANN is now just off the shoulder of MILLWARD in 2nd. ELLIOTT is just holding on, but not really catching up in 3.
Well, fatigue does play a part, as you mentioned. It's the final day of competition, extremely busy program of events, and particularly for the woman who's about to touch in first, MILLWARD, but seems to be coping with it all extremely well. 34, she's a very experienced campaigner, has years of training under her belt and knows how to back up yet again over multi-day competitions. So MILLWARD doing it easily at the moment, has settled beautifully into her freestyle, long, steady, rhythmic strokes. And it's WEGGEMANN who'll be in 2nd position as they cruise in, and ELLIOTT appears to be just picking up the pace a little and challenging for 2nd position in heat 1. So just wanting to make sure she'll make it through to the final. She shouldn't be too troubled, I wouldn't think. Maddison ELLIOTT will be very pleased with this, but it is MILLWARD who's set the pace easily in heat 1. 2:45.91 is the early mark, and it was a 2:52.42 for ELLIOTT. WEGGEMANN touching in at 2:53.04. As the rest of the field comes in, it'll be BRABER to touch in from the Netherlands, Bird from Canada, and finally is DUSKOVA from Czeck. Stephanie MILLWARD's had a wonderful competition. She has 2 gold medals and 2 bronze medals from the Rio 2016 Paralympic Games. Maddison ELLIOTT from Australia, and WEGGEMANN, who was 6th in this event in London, will be pleased to make it through to the final again.
So MILLWARD of Great Britain, who And out from the opening fly, just touched second behind Maddison Elliott at the wall at the opening 50. Elliott with a good strong opening fly, a 34.85 as she took it out, and then really didn't do a great deal in terms of making up ground in the backstroke, a strong which she's very proficient at. In the end though, Maddison Elliott doing enough to touch second fastest, but MILLWARD taking it home comfortably.